Hello guys, today I am gonna show you how you can download the latest Xilinx Vivado Design Suite 2021.2. So the first step is to open up your web browser and type xilinx.com. Once you have opened the website, you can see we have three tabs: solutions, products, and company. So click on products, and then we have several options. So you have to choose hardware development option, and then click on Vivado ML. Once you clicked on Vivado ML, it's gonna bring you here that says Design Smarter Free Vivado Standard Edition, which means like the standard edition of this software is free. So click on View Product, and here we have Vivado ML download page. So here again it says download Vivado ML Standard Edition free. So in addition, you can double check it is selected on standard. Then click on download from download center. Then it will bring you here, which is basically the download page for all the versions of Vivado. By default, it brings you to the latest version, but if you wanna download the older versions or the previous version, you can go here, Vivado Archive, and here you have all the previous version of Vivado. Alright, but for this video, I'm gonna be downloading the latest version, which is 2021.2. So I'm gonna click here again, and then we have four options. If you scroll down a little bit, the first option is Vivado ML Edition. The second is Vivado ML Edition Update 1. The third option is Vivado Lab Solutions, and the fourth is License Management Tools. Okay, but we are gonna be downloading the full product installation. So just scroll up and click here, Xilinx Unified Installer 2021.2 Windows Self-Extracting Web Installer. If you are downloading it for Linux, you have to click here, right? But I am downloading it for Windows, so I'm gonna be clicking here, and then it's gonna open up a new tab that requires you to put your account information. So if you already don't have any account, you have to create by clicking here, and then you have to put your first name, last name, your corporate email, and if you are a student, you can put your school email ID here, location, preferred language, and CAPTCHA, and then you can submit to have your account created. But I already have an account, so I'm gonna go back here and I'm just gonna put my email address here. And then click on sign in. Once you have signed in, you can see all your information is already there. So scroll down, so click here, and it will open up a save as window. So save the .exe file. So it will start downloading your installer. So let it complete. Okay, it's done now. So click here and wait for a little while, because it's gonna take a little while to open up the installer. Alright, so here we have this pop-up dialog box. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Of course, yes. And then it's gonna start extracting the Xilinx installer. Once that's done, it's gonna pop up a new welcoming window that says Unified Xilinx Installer. And the version is again 2021.2, which is the free edition version. again it's gonna take a little while to start the installer, so let's wait for a while. Alright, here we go. We have the first welcoming window, and that says we are glad you have chosen Xilinx as your platform development partner. Okay, so click next, and then you have to enter your email address and password again. And then keep the default settings here, download and install now. Then click next. Here we have options to choose what to download. If you want to download the full hardware and software development flow, you can download the Vitis. If you just want to download Vivado alone, then you can select this guy. And the other options are for bootgen, lab edition, hardware server, and documentation, navigator. So I'm going to be downloading Vivado, so I'm going to select this guy and then click next. And then here that says if you want to download the enterprise edition or the standard edition. So as we have seen before, standard edition is free, no cost. So I'm going to select this guy, and here again it says Vivado ML Standard Edition is the no-cost device limited version of the Vivado ML Enterprise Edition. Alright, so click next, and then here on this window we have to select which devices we are going to be working on. So I am just going to work on Xilinx devices, so I am not going to select all of them because of course this will require more space on my disk. So you can see here is the download size is 41.9, this required is 124.37 GB. If I deselect this, it will reduce the size, and you can see here it reduces the size. Okay, so in the SoC devices I can have Xilinx 7000 and Xilinx Ultra Scale Plus MP SoC. Okay, and I don't need this Vitis model composer Xilinx toolbox for MATLAB and Simulink, so I'm also gonna deselect this one. It saves most of the space, and then the rest of the setting is good. So I'm gonna click here next, and just for your information, you can add the devices later. It does have an option. So on this window, of course, you have to agree whatever the policies or the agreement is. So click next, and then it's gonna show you where it's actually gonna download and install your software. So I keep this as a default, like C Xilinx. Click next, and then it's a summary of all the settings you have selected before. Then click install. Then it's going to start downloading, and that says 2 hours and 22 minutes. So of course I'm gonna pause here, and once it's done I will show you the next steps. Alright guys, that's done, and that says Xilinx Information Center. We don't need to upgrade anything here, so I'm just gonna close this guy, and that's the execution of pre-post installation task failed. Warning, Xilinx software was installed successfully, but an unexpected status was returned from the following post installation tasks: install VC++ runtime libraries of 64-bit OS. A reboot of your machine is required to complete the installation of Microsoft VC++ runtime libraries. So of course that can be doable, so just click OK here, and then installation complete successful. Alright, so we will restart the machine if we will find any kind of issues with running Vivado. Okay, so just double click here to open up the Vivado and see like if that works okay, or if we really need to restart our machine first. Alright, there you go. Alright, so we have now Vivado open, and the last step is to check the license. So click here on the help tab, and then go to manage license, and there's gonna be a new window called Vivado License Manager 2021.2, and there what you can see is like I do have this older license version that has a limit of 2020.1. So I need to have a license that can cover this version 2021.2. So to obtain a license, what I can do is like click here obtain, and then click here connect now, and it's gonna bring you to this page again where you have to sign in, and then again it's gonna give you your information. Scroll down and then click next. Here what we are gonna do is like click this guy and then click generate node logged license. Click here and click next. So what you can do here is like you can log into your email ID, download the license file from there, or you can directly download from here. Okay, and here we have the license file. So now go back to Vivado and click here load license and then copy license. So we have recent and Xilinx licenses here, and then click xilinx.lic. So click yes, and it is successfully installed. And then view license status, and it's refreshing. And then you can see here we have the permanent license, and the limit of the license is now 2023.02. So there you go. Now you can use Vivado, and it's all standard free edition. Thank you for watching.